Airbus, big example of European unity. But in the military, it's really not the case, and it's a bit sad. What we need also is more common will. To say, Lady Ashton is not enough. Mr. Van Rompuy is not enough. We need to have the support of the big member states in particular to this EU foreign policy. If there is not this support of big member states, it shall not work. It shall. I make sometimes a comparison. What we have been doing, building in Brussels, is a kind of Ferrari, or Porsche. You can say a Porsche if you want, or a Ferrari, but you let it in the garage. In the garage, and you use it to buy your bread, in the other street. What we need is to use the Ferrari for highway travels, to big adventure, which is not the case today. And third, we need more common vision. I think what we have done in 2003, this definition of a common European strategy was a very good thing, to be able to develop the common policy tool, common policy vision. And I think we need to update that, because we have created the European External Action Service. We need to develop this common vision to be able to make progress on the strategy. Thank you.
Thank you. It was super. Very interesting. So we can ask.
Yes, of course. We can discuss a bit other subject, because I think what you addressed.
We have this recording and also this one. The questions are not so important, but the answers are very, very important, of course. I would like to thank you so much for having this honor to have you here in ICPS. And I explained, we have sometimes very big companies here, but we decided that we want this to work on the future publications. Because I'm absolutely sure now that the going into internet in different format is much more useful or much more effective and impactful than having simply a group of physical. So our work today is to ask questions, then we will work on your responses and on the text, and then we will send it to you. You will see whether you accept it, and we will put it in the newspaper, and we will have it on our site, and so on. So this is such kind of work. We're only starting this process. I would like to divide I have two questions. And then we will hear other people here. And my questions of this type, one is about the situation which we have in Ukraine, and it is very much, of course, influenced by what EU is doing and how EU feels. And Ukraine is between the two big neighbors. One neighbor is a very active, roaring lion, which says Ukraine should move to the west, and is trying and is doing everything it can not to allow further rapprochement or anything of the sort of Ukraine to EU. This always happened before. We knew. We had with NATO several summits, we had it. Now this year is a very serious sort of benchmark for us, because whether we can sign this or not sign, and I'm sure there will be lots of different things happening, and Ukraine will be looking very bad, and there will be always something that Ukraine cannot do it with Ukraine as usual. So we are very much prepared for that, and we try to talk about this and write about this. But anyway, Russia is there. We have to work with Russia. And there's no way to ignore it. Our position, ICPS studies, our research, and our thinking is that the only way how we can do it properly is to stand on the position of introducing European standards and principles and values into our regional integration or close cooperation with Russia. So my question is about these principles and standards and values, which are, if you could say that these are, because you said all common values, but exactly sort of what are those values that are indispensable and you are never having close relationship with in other countries without implementing or standing on these values, standards, principles. This is one thing. And sort of, because this is a question how to deal with Russia, because how to deal with Russia and not to be swallowed, and not to lose the possibility to, not to lose to lose our desire to go west. So this is one question. The other question is, we so often hear about the fatigue, and today we hear from you the also confirmation. You say this, Europe is pessimistic, an exit of history, and it is connected with, and I don't know, I can't quite understand it. Is it, sort of, how do you personally, I don't know, look at this? What do you think it is? Is it really serious? Is it simply laziness? Is it, I don't know what it, or is it not realistic understanding in what world you live, or not wanting to see the world around you, trying to be Switzerland and not wanting to know that there is bigger world around, and sort of Switzerland needs European Union. So I have these two questions, and I don't know, maybe we can all ask our questions, other questions, and all of us work on different. I'm director of this institute. My name is Vera, and it's about the Janos Snihur works. Jaroslav Snihur, 5 years was in the government, and he worked on free trade agreement. Now he's with us, and we work on the same topic with him. A junior researcher and our fellow from the United States on energy issues, Vivica Williams, and our senior analyst who has done work on institutional revolution, I say institutional reform of the sector, is connected with the association agreement and free trade, but it is connected also with the, specifically with the standards committee. And Marta is my assistant, and also working on communication together with Irina, who has left this moment. We have many more people, but they are in different places of Ukraine or somewhere else. And again, thanks so much for having you, and I hope that we will be able to produce something that you will like at the end. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perhaps on your two questions, the first one on the values, I think the good answer is that you have a combination of interests and values. So the EU cannot be only an organization defending values. When you want to defend human rights, you also have to be aware of political stabilization, security supply, etc. And so you need to make a balance between the interests and the values. It means that values have to play a role. If you see, for example, Russia, there is a human rights dialogue, there are some discussions, they are not always very good. But we have discussions with Russians on that.